Reality check, man. Reality check. Check in, check in, check in. Anyway, people, today we want to look into the garbage situation in Jamaica. And the other day, Mr. Desmond Mckenzie, on a platform, they make a bag of noise. Wanna make no sense. But before we go any further, I want to listen to that clip here and hear what I say.
Many locals have bemoaned the delays in garbage collection, presenting a public health threat in some parishes. For months, Jamaicans have been bottling their frustrations while the authorities implore their patience in this regard. On Sunday, the local government minister told party supporters in St. Andrew the trucks are on their way. To the opposition PNP to show their investment in solid waste management over the years, adding this is a historic move. This 50 trucks that we are bringing in is the first in the history of the National Solid Waste Management Authority that level of investment has ever been made. Minister Mckenzie reminded party supporters and the citizens at large that despite these investments, their support and change in views will be critical to maintaining the investments.
So, while Mr. Mckenzie was on stage making his bag of noise, this is what the reporter says. Many locals have remained delay in garbage collection present a public health threat in some parish. Many locals have remained delay in garbage collection present a public threat in certain parish. Right? So, now listen to the noise. You have to watch the evidence in the film. And the evidence is the garbage that piling up in Jamaica. This is Mr. Mckenzie's statement. The 50 truck that we are bringing in is the first in the history of the National Solid Waste Management Authority. This level of investment has never been made in the history of Jamaica. This level of investment has never been made in the history of Jamaica. That level of investment, never need to made. Right? Because your government is in party now 7 years. And it takes you 7 years to figure it out that there was not sufficient amount of truck seen in the National Solid Waste Government Authority. 7 years it take your administration to figure out that. So the truck them went dead before. It simply means that a lot of those trucks are broken, need to repair, and are out of service. And since your government is in power for the past 7 years, it would be your duty from then to make sure the National Solid Waste, them truck them up and running. But you're trying to blame the opposition. Right? And at times it really puzzles me. It bothers me. Because at times I'm saying the Jamaica Party is the governing party of Jamaica right now. And they are still pretending like they are the opposition. Right? You guys are not the opposition. You are the leading party. So step up and play your role. So if it takes you 7 years to figure out, so there is no truck, and truck is short in the National Solid Waste Management Authority, it's shame on your administration. So there was no need then, 10, 15 years ago, for that form of investment. Because Jamaica did not overrun by garbage then. Garbage used to picked up on a regular basis. So therefore that investment never made no sense to make then. Because why you gonna try fix something when it's not broken? Garbage was picking up. Jamaica wasn't overrun by garbage then. But it is now under your administration. You cannot run from it. Right? You cannot run from it. Under your administration now, it need to make that investment right now. You cannot wait to make that investment. That investment have to make right now because Jamaica is overrun by garbage. In a lot of these communities, rat infestation taking over Jamaica communities under your administration. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why. It is the failure under your incompetent administration. Garbage pile up over Jamaica. Rat take over Jamaica. Under your administration. You understand? So when I see this fool, this sentimental fool, Mckenzie, they're on stage, right? They're on stage, try to take credit for the failure of the JLP administration. I see this man on stage trying to take credit for the failure of the JLP administration regarding to garbage collection in communities and parish in Jamaica. And you are on stage now like you want to normalize it like it's nothing. Wow! It's one of the biggest investment has ever made in the history of the National Solid Waste Management Authority. It have to be. Let me remind you again, it have to be one of the biggest. Because in the history of Jamaica, is the first Jamaica ever pile up and full of so much garbage. So you guys are setting records. You guys are setting records. So it have to be in the history. That gone in a history. Right? So this investment where you are making now, you have to make it. It's urgent. It's needed. Because your administration of Jamaica under garbage, rat infestation. That's what your administration of the country of Jamaica under right now. So when this baboon up on stage and trying to take credit for the failure of your incompetent administration, sometimes I wonder how people really vote for these people. These people who are not fit to lead. These people who don't have the criteria to serve. These people who are not suitable to lead. I wonder at times how people really go into a polling booth and make an X for some of you guys. But this is the thing. I would be very quiet if my administration get caught up in a disgrace like this. I would be very quiet to bring in these trucks without the attention of the public and have them working so the citizens and the people of their parish can see who they work and start talk about the good work one who do. I would be very quiet and bring in those trucks without the attention of the media. Work late at night when people wake up in the morning is like a miracle. And then they start talk about the good work that you guys are doing again. But guess what? You guys don't do that. Right? You guys don't do that. Why? No shame. You people have no shame. Knowing that, this is a disgrace. And your incompetent administration, you should keep this a hush, hush, shh, quiet. Make the truck then come in, quiet. Nobody no know. Get them start working. Work late at night and start remove these garbage. Make people wake up in the morning and see a difference. Make the media run in now and start highlight. Instead, you are trying to go on stage and trying to make your bag of nice. Like you trying to normalize the thing so it not come in like nothing to it. Cleanliness is godliness. It go and come in like something to it. Garbage are garbage. That's why they have the dump. So no garbage now go normalize around here. It now go normalize around here. But what I want these people to know from the JLP administration, and when you go into your constituency and you are having these meetings, remember, it's not 30 and 40 years ago. Remember, now you have social media. So when you go up on stage and talk, there are people in the crowd recording it and they are sending it out. So we are well informed. It's not just the few that you have who can comprehend at times and they run with it. Remember, you have Independent, you have the JLP, you have the PMP, and you have the diaspora abroad who is watching. So remember now, you are not just talking to your JLP supporters. You are talking to a wider coalition who are listening and watch you guys keenly. And this is the reason why I always emphasize and saying, as a parent, it's your duty as a parent to make sure your kid or your kids are able to read and write. And not just read and write, but read and write with understanding so they can comprehend. Right? So when you see a baboon like Mckenzie, incompetent, slow, stupid, person like that on a stage that try to normalize a situation where the evidence is there in the film, show your garbage is piling up. Now these kids can comprehend and understand, knowing that this is rubbish. I'm not having no part of this. This is BS. This is bullshit. I'm not having it. This ludicrous. I'm not having this from this man. You have to give them that opportunity. They don't have to have 10 subjects, 5. Your kid, they don't have to get the degree. And they don't have to get that masterate. But make sure your kid are able to read and write with understanding. So when they hear garbage, early out, them can detect and say, I'm not a part of this. I'm not a part of this. So parents, insist that your kid, them learn to read and write with understanding so that they can comprehend. Right? And this is the message for the JLP administration and Mckenzie, because since that he was the spokesman for the garbage situation in Jamaica that is inoculating Jamaica parishes, garbage been overrun in parishes of Jamaica now, rat infestation in Jamaica now. Since he was the spokesman, I would tell him my advice to Mr. Mckenzie to Mckenzie, my advice to Mckenzie and the JLP administration. The first assignment, right, for those garbage trucks is to take the JLP administration to Riverton City garbage. I will repeat. I say my advice to Mckenzie and the JLP administration. The first assignment for those new garbage trucks, right, is to take the JLP administration to Riverton City garbage dump. That's where you guys belongs. You guys, everything in Jamaica is now run down. Everything that you inherit from the present administration, you run it down. And every day you get up and talk about the PMP this and the PMP that. The PMP is opposition. The Jamaica Labour Party is the leading party. The Jamaican Labour Party is the governing party. Stop being opposition and lead. But I always say to people, from a long time, the JLP, they are good opposition. They don't know how to lead. And the saying say, the higher the monkey climb, is the more he expose. The more the Jamaica Labour Party stay in office, is the more them expose. Because they don't have no solution to the problem. They're good, and they're good at opposing. See? They're good, and they're good at opposing. Right? This is what the news anchor says. Many locals have remained, right, the delay in garbage collection, and it presents a public health threat to communities in Jamaica. It presents a public health threat to communities in Jamaica. Uno can't run from this. Uno can't carry nobody in this. 7 years it take you to figure out that you don't have no truck. 7 years it take you to say you truck them broke down. Your administration is one of the worst in the history of Jamaica. And you not normalize garbage around here. Garbage can't normalize. Saying can't normalize. So remember, you're not just talking to the JLP supporters. No, you're talking to the independents, you're talking to the PMP, and you're talking to the diaspora abroad. Remember that. Right? So it's not just your little base who they run with everything most of the time what you guys say. Okay? So I want you guys to get that. We are out here and we are watching you guys like ark. We don't not get away with nothing again. Nothing we don't not get away with again around here. We're on top of things. And we are watching you. Much love. Stay tuned, to the revolutionist and aromatic realistic TV. Much love again, Until then, me go leave you with a little clip here again. And make you see what I talk about.
Over the years, adding this is a historic move. Our bringing in is the first in the history of the National Solid Waste Management Authority that level of investment has ever been made. Minister Mckenzie reminded party supporters and